Hey guys, this is Lil with another raid video. Today I'm doing the follow-on from my gear selling rules video with the late game sell rules. I still to this day get questions about from one of my sort of earlier gearing videos and sell rule videos about where's the late game version, dude. And do you know what? I still never built it for that because it takes a really long time to build them. So what I wanted to do this time is I built my phone is always not on silent. I built my sell rules, and instead of recording my video there and then, I waited 2 days while I built the late game ones so that I would be able to say on day one, I've got the Endgame and the late game ones ready to go. So today we're going to look at, the first video was looking at the sell file in general and my approach to it and focusing more on the Endgame stuff. And I wanted to talk to you about the variation on the late game stuff. So let's go and talk about it. Okay, sorry, I'll make that bigger again. Sorry, these things keep resizing. So, okay. So now I have to, full transparency, I have to be honest and say that I did cheat here ever so slightly. What I'm going to do is just move me, if I can get hold of me, there we go, I'm going to move me over here. I did cheat slightly and I didn't do quite what I would do if I was doing this totally from scratch, so I'm sorry about that. What I'm going to do is, so we got the sell file, we got the structure where we've got, S tier limit, S plus, S, A, B tier, and then S, A, B in depending on the type. And then again, I've tried to stick with, my rules, which is at late game, you should only be keeping 5-star and epic, and you should be keeping, S tier with 1 good substat, A tier with 2 good substats, and B tier with 3 good substats. So I'll start with so I actually kept all the damage rules exactly the same because it already kept 5-star if it was good, kept all of that as is. These were quite liberal, quite lax rules, I think, to start with. What I then did was look at the S tier and A tier, and I dropped them down a rank, so you're now keeping 5-star. And what I did was I said S tier you can keep rare, and A tier you only wanted epic plus. Now, what I mentioned in the last video is what I actually did here was say you can keep 5-star, but I didn't want to make you. What I would ideally want is keep 5-star epic or above and keep 6-star rare or above. But I don't want to duplicate every rule multiple times to say that, which is how you would have to do it, structure it in RSL helper cell files. So what I did instead was I added one rule at the very top of that gears rule set that said, if it's 5-star and rare in these gear sets, sell it. And then what you end up with is what we want, which is keep the 5-star epics and above, but keep the 6-star rare or above. So that way, we sort of cheat it by adding in a forced sell rule. So you'll see when you go into if you go into the files, you'll see a sell all 5-star rare in these sets, and that's the reason for that. It's saving a lot of duplicate rules because again, for me, I'd happily keep on my free-to-play account. I'd happily keep a 5-star epic, but I wouldn't want the 5-star rares because you're just missing too many substats. So again, we've kept all the rules the same in terms of the rolling. I feel like my rolling rules are relatively lax, not too strict. So we've kept all that. And again, on the B tier, we've actually said, do you know what? These are still not great sets. So what we've done is we've said we still want them to definitely be 6-star, but they've got to be epic. Now, and this is where I've been lazy. If I was looking at this to start from scratch, I would drop the requirements of substat combinations. So on my actual cell file, this is 4 instead of 3. Sorry, the highlighting color doesn't help us here. I highlighted just to show where I'd changed things. Let me see if I can put a better color behind that. Blue isn't going to help us, is it? Purple? Does purple help? Just to make it, there we go. That makes it easier to see. So, the actual file is 4, but if I was doing this from scratch, I would do that as 3. But again, just in the interest of time, if enough people comment like down below and say, look, can you spend more time on this and go through and do, it as you would want it, I will. I don't mind, but I didn't want to spend like 3 to 4 days before getting the cell files out. So I got it to a point where I was like, this is fine. But yeah, if I was doing this, if this was my only cell file, or if it was my own, I would go through and drop these down one for all of these B tier ones. But you're talking about B tier here, so it's not it's not amazing stuff. Some of the sets change, and that's what I've tried to highlight. Oh, sorry, you can't see that. Let me shuffle it over. Some of the sets change here, so some of them get Lethal, Savage, and Stone Skin, a bit more. A bit harder to get when you're late game, a bit rarer, so therefore they go up to S plus tier, and some things like Instinct become S tier, Relentless S tier, Killstroke I think I put up to S tier, so a lot of those sets are going up. Things like Crit Rate and Divine Crit Rate, like hitting crit cap is more difficult when your gear is more limited when you're more late game. So again, that comes up to A tier for me. And the same sort of themes throughout, the other tiers as well. Protection, not a massive difference, but you see things like actually, Perception, is suddenly back in S tier, where on our endgame file it was more A tier. Like, it's good, but it's not, it's not rocking your world, because you just need less of those stats. Like hitting stat thresholds when the further along your account is, the further into endgame your account is easier, which is why, things like speed aren't that used, because actually you're looking for more special gear sets. Can I get 4-piece Stone Skin plus 4-piece lethal, for example? Can I get impulse where, I'm getting speed and a cooldown reset? So, but these ones that have the speed, like the stats, like the accuracy, like the speed, like the perception, bit more valuable at that late game level. So hence those. So yeah, we've dropped a lot of the ranks, we've dropped a lot of the rarities, and the same sort of thing when we get into the protection sets. Sorry, that's moved along again. I keep forgetting that this thing, just to make it more readable for you, it's a bit off-centered for me. So again, as we look down to the protection sets, we got the same sorts of changes, bringing the ranks down to rank 5s, bringing the rarities down, rares for the S tier, and then, epic plus for the other tiers. And then, things like, okay, if it's a chest or gloves that's got HP defense, resist, or accuracy, if it's got speed, just keep it. As long as it rolls, So again, being more lax on those rolls, but again, none of that is changed from the original cell file. Accessories, sorry. Oh no, this is the protection. Sorry. So protection, this is all the same. Sorry, you can ignore this highlighting. I thought that there wasn't a section for this, but there was. So actually, that can all come off. And again, we've just dropped the ranks and rarity. I wasn't happy with this rule, which is why it's highlighted. I just updated it a bit. The big difference on the accessories, no massive change. We have dropped the rule of all banners must have speed, but we prefer them to have speed. So I think we now say all 5-star banners must have speed, but 6-star you can stay. Like if you're a matching substat on a banner, so if you're an HP banner with an HP substat, you don't need to have speed, but we are more lax on ones that do. So we're keeping rare 5-star banners that do have speed, or that do match substats with speed. And again, adjusting the rolls ever so slightly accordingly. That's the 5-star cell file. I haven't actually run it on my free-to-play yet. I don't think my free-to-play is logged in. Hold on, I'll go and log it in now. Okay, guys. Sorry, I had to microphone helps. Sorry, I had to quickly go, and I realised I hadn't added a couple of the fixes that I'd added in earlier. So I'm going to now we can flip over to the game. Hopefully we get the right game. does it not like me doing this when I'm running multiple instances of RAID? Does not look like it. Okay, 1 second. Okay, sorry, it didn't seem to want to grab RAID, so I have now just flipped it into recording on full screen mode. So there we go. So hopefully you can see that. So on my free-to-play account, and let's just come and sell, and go back to RAID and go inventory. Let's just check that we're using the right sell file. Late game, that's the one. And how much of my gear does it want to sell? 400 pieces of 5-star gear. Well, that sounds fair enough to me. It wants to sell a lot of my lifesteal, which makes sense because I haven't told it to retain any lifesteal. Such a shame that those HP gloves rolled into double flat attack. I'm just going to hit go on this one, guys. I got to be honest, I might keep those crit rate gloves. 5-star though. Yeah, I'm going to hit go. This gear, this count seriously needs a cleanse. I'm pretty happy with the rules. So I'm gonna add all to queue. I'm not going to look through it because I think that would be a bad move on my part. And I'm going to hit add all. And if we flick back to game, 40 does not sound right. 60, 80. Wow, it really just sort of goes to show how much stuff you keep. Triple accuracy roll in a savage savage. Not really what I'm looking for. Wow, it's chugging along. It's probably because I'm recording. I'll drink coffee while we wait. Oh, what was wrong with those gloves? I might go and take a quick look at those. They were protection set crit rate gloves. Oh no, I thought it was done, but it's not. Wow, sorry. If I'd have realised this was going to be so slow, I would have preloaded this. Is it finished? Yes. Let me move. Whoop, nope, not that. Move myself. There we go. One day I'm going to figure out a way to just, like, you know, flick a button and it move me to one side. Right. I went to go and have a look at those protection. Wow, that's really, really nuking my gear. 700. That's basically half my gear gone. Great, right. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem, isn't it? The problem is too much bad gear kept. And that's always the, on now, I'll probably, but look, like, you can't argue with that, you know, it's attack with triple flat stat. I probably keep those boots just because I know I've got, like, no boots at all in lethal. I mean, I've got no anything in lethal, to be honest, so I'll probably just untick these. I know I'd never farm it, so I just, like, I can't get high enough in Doom Tower. Right, there were some, I'm sure there were some gloves that looked half decent here as they flashed by. Yeah, okay, yeah. Speed and crit damage. Yeah, sure. Okay. I'm going to hit sell, and we'll see what we're left with. Not much, I wouldn't have thought. Oh, let's not sell that. I need to remember that feral. I'll probably, because these are so limited on this count. The same with this stuff. I probably should have just unticked this to start with. I mean, don't get me wrong, most of it probably is good to sell. That's why it's not rolled. But for now, I'll just untick it all. And then I'll manually take a look at it all later. But like this stuff is probably, yeah, there you go, flat, rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. Yeah, I mean, can't argue because it is all rubbish. Right, I'm going to hit sell. there you go, guys. That is a nice clean inventory, and that is late game cell file for RSL Helper. Hope you guys enjoy. Leave me a comment and let me know how you get on. If you find anything that you think could be improved, or you'd like to see, adjustments, I am still going to record a video on how to edit the cell file, sort of en masse, so you can change it to your liking. That's it from me, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.